the name? I don't have any requests. No. Somebody just joined, but I already accepted. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, sorry, where was I? So, standard temperature, right? So, everything is based on the 15 degrees. That's why it's so important, because it's the standard, right? When you're doing your temperature, I went into, I mean, not me, but one of my students went into a flight test, and the temperature outside was 0. All right. And so, if you take a look, 20 below 15 will be -5. All right. Temperature of 0 is closest to 20 below standard. Make sense? So in that case, you need to use the 20 below standard, right? Whichever you're closest to. If you are exactly in the middle, you can take exact average numbers as well if you like. All right. But the examiner was like, well, so if you're at 40 degrees, all right, so a really hot day, what are you going to use? And the student still said standard. I'm like, come on, right? 20 above standard is already 35. So you should be using your 35 temperature, okay? So that's how that works. Now, each time you're here, right, you have a certain RPM setting, right, that you will be able to choose from. Now, this is not all of them. You can do more, but this just tells you the general scenario of power that you generally want to use, okay? You have here on the top your brake horsepower, so how much horsepower you are going to produce after friction, after heat, after all of that stuff. You do have here your true airspeed, right? True airspeed over here for your planning to see how fast you're going to go, and your gallons per hour, so how much you are going to burn as well. All right. So let's say we are 6,000 feet at a temperature of -10, right? So on a standard day, sea level is going to be 15, right? If you guys remember, every 1,000 feet, temperature goes down by 2 degrees, right? That's the standard. So because of that, 6 times 2 is going to be about 12, all right? And then 12 minus 15 is going to be 3. All right, so at 6,000 feet, it should be the standard at 3,000 is going to be 3 degrees. All right, but for that special day, it was extra cold. In reality, it's -10. Right? Since the actual is -10, the temperature is 13 above. No, it should be 20 below, actually. Right? There's a mistake here on the slide. It should be 13 below. Okay? So you should be looking at the below over here, but let's entertain the idea that it's above over here just for the sake of these numbers. All right? So what you'd be doing is you'll be going to see what power setting do you want. All right? So let's say I want 2,400 RPM. All right, 2,400 RPM. I go here. I'll just go there. All right, so that's going to be 63 brake horsepower, and then at a speed of 107 and 7 gallons per hour. Okay. Now, if I'm in the middle between both of them, all right, you just do what's in the middle of 63 and 60, right? What's in the middle of 107 to 108? Might as well just keep that the same. And how much are you going to burn between 7 and 6.7? So about 6.9, 6.8, up to you guys. Okay? Good. So at 2600 RPM, it says you will use about 8.6 in standard, right? And 9.1 in the 30 above. So the average would be there. I'm not sure why they're going over here very, very detailed, all right? Like I said, just pick the averages, all right? And that should be more than enough. So if you have, for example, again, 8.6 and 9.1, what's in the middle there, all right? No need to do 65%, 35%. That's all bullshit, okay? Notch would be determined the same way. And when using your wing charts to interpolate, round up always when it comes to fuel, all right? Because if you round up, you're always gonna ensure you have enough, all right? Good. Performance speeds, all right? So performance speeds, so all the aircraft have speeds that we should understand and memorize them, that you are aware of the limitation and capability of your aircraft. So it can be operated safely. Do not open your aircraft, that's just weird. Okay, these speeds are denoted as indicated speeds, so conversions are not necessary, right? And airspeed indicator has color coding, like we already saw in the picture, then it will say it also in the POH and such. Okay, so I want you guys to write down those speeds, all right? So VA, all right, so all the speeds we're going to talk about right now, write it down. So today we'll start with VA, which is maneuvering speed. All right. For that, this is basically again the speed above which it is unwise to make full application of single flight control. All right. It may generate a force greater than what the aircraft can handle. All right. So be very, very careful with that. So by what they mean by single flight control, full application. All right, so it's if you're fully going all the way down, all the way up, or all the way either left or right. Okay? This speed changes with weights, and therefore it is not indicated on the airspeed indicator. But we should have a plaque of it in the cockpit normally. All right? It's gonna be there somewhere. Now, I want you guys to ensure you write down the notes that I'm gonna say. VA changes with weight. All right. The heavier you are, the faster the VA will be.
So please repeat that.
Okay, 1 second. All right, Rahul, can you type down what did you say again? Yes to what? Okay.